Welcome back, friend, to the Brian Chambers Movement. Today's mission: provide you with military-grade marketing strategies that you can apply to your business right now to reap positive results. Particularly excited about today's digital marketing review because I'm reviewing my favorite sports team of all time. In fact, two of the players from this team were coaches of mine when I was a football player, and even changed the color of my wind guard to match the team's colors. Now then, for those of you that have been around, you know the way we do these videos. We show you areas where this business is winning, where they're killing it on their website and social media. But we also show you areas where they have opportunities for growth and improvement. The idea here is not to hype up a business or to tear them down, but to show you strategies that you can apply right now to your business and start reaping the positive results. Now, with that in mind, we always start with the website. A little bit of backstory here that this context is going to be important for you. I actually sent the Redskins at a digital marketing audit about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, to their then director of marketing, their CMO. And interestingly enough, and much to my very pleasant surprise, they have implemented a large number of the changes that I talked about. They also didn't implement some of the bigger ones that I wish they would have. We're going to talk about all of those today. So first up is the website. We always like to start not with the design and the colors, but we like to start with how fast is this website. Unfortunately, my favorite team of all time is not doing too well with speed on mobile or on the desktop, right? Desktop, it's not entirely a lost cause, but mobile, I'd say there's a red flag and we need to look at some things. For those of you who may not have used this tool before, understand that you don't need to panic. Just look at some of the things it's telling you are wrong with your website. The first one that stands out to me is the first one they list: properly sized images. I imagine, and I actually pulled this up to look at some of the code behind the scenes here. Now, one thing I will give them credit for in the tool here is that the images are scalable. But if I had to guess, they're uploading this image at completely high res and not scaling it down a bit to make it acceptable for web to keep that speed up. There's also some other areas where they've got opportunities to improve that I won't go completely into. I just want you to be aware that this tool is here. And if your website is not at least in the gold here, there's probably some changes that you need to make. But on the positive side, one of the things that was in my audit was that at the time they were running two separate websites. This was a common practice way back in the day where you had a website and then you had a mobile website. One of the first things that I suggested they do is figure out a way to make those two teams work together. They've done that. This website is absolutely, the second thing we check, is it mobile friendly? Yes, it's 100% mobile friendly, but I have to guess that some things got lost in the translation in that merger, and I'm making assumptions because I wasn't the one that did the work. But I will tell you, one of the other things I addressed was that the website was way too busy with information. They have pared that down quite a bit. So they've made a lot of positive changes. Keep in mind also on the positive side, on desktop, where I imagine a lot of their core audience is digesting their content, not on mobile. So for them, it may not be an emergency. But this is something that Google is going to penalize their website for. Now, when we say penalize, it certainly does not matter as much to the Washington Redskins as it will matter to your business. Okay, if you are not enabled for mobile and if this page speed is way too slow, this is going to hurt your business. The Redskins are not missing any meals. Okay, they're doing just fine. This is something they need to address, but it's something that they can get to, because their core business is out there on the field. All right. As far as design goes, I love the fact that they simplified it. I didn't pull up like a Wayback Machine to show you what it used to look like. Just know that this is way cleaner. And if you pull it up on mobile, way cleaner than it used to be back in the day. So they get props for that. Also love that it starts with engaging imagery, right? Could have more video, and we'll talk about that a little bit more once we get to the social media. But at least I'm connecting with things that are going on. At least the videos are here if they're not the first thing that I see. Right? And I thought it would be interesting to do an NFL team with the combine coming up very soon as I'm filming this. Now, next up, we've got the Facebook page. Let's go to Facebook. Now, I will say, let me go back for 1 second here and just show you. Down at the bottom, and this is the way I prefer it, you can get in touch with us on all of our social media. I prefer that to be here versus at the top of the screen, because at the top of the screen, I want people engaging with what's happening on the site. not leaving to go to my social media if there's something I want you to do on the website. In this case, probably give me your email address, okay? So that I can follow up with you, potentially share other ways for me to serve you through my business. Now then, moving on to the Facebook page. As I always say, there's a tool called Likealyzer, which is apparently having a brain fart here, but looks like it got it together. One of the things I love about the Redskins is they are extremely, extremely active. Okay, their front page squared away. Let's take a look at it. Right, we come to the, I love that, HTTR. Now, you're watching this, if you're not a fan of the Redskins, you have no idea what that means. But every single fan of the team knows exactly what HTTR means. It means hail to the Redskins. It's our battle cry, our chant. I love that. Simple, straightforward. The contrast is good between the colors. Certainly catches the eye. Certainly not disliking the fact that they have almost 2 million followers on Facebook. That's going to become important here in a minute as well, right? Love the fact that if we go to Likealyzer, we can see, I'm going to skip here, that they're posting 5 times a day. I'm okay with that for the Redskins. For your business, if you run an HVAC company or you do something that's not an entertainment business, I don't think you necessarily need to have 5 posts per day, but I like the fact that the Redskins have clearly put some thought into optimizing how often we post. That was in my audit as well. Now, your business, post once a day, okay? The max twice, because unless you're posting something that's immediately engaging and entertaining like they're doing here, chances are you are going to get old to your audience and wear out your welcome. You don't want to do that. But just know that being active is a very good thing. Also love the average post length. They understand that pictures with blog level text on Facebook actually do really, really well. In fact, with a lot of the pages that I manage, I've noticed that they do better even than video. Now that changes when we start talking about Facebook ads a little bit, right? Getting awareness with video, a lot of times I can plus that up a lot faster with a Facebook ad. But as far as engaging my audience, which is what I care more about, because I don't care if I have 2 million people following me and liking me if I'm not engaging. Right now, one of the things I would like to see more of, since we have 2 million people liking this page, is I got to get more than 26 comments and more than 44 likes. Right? That's I don't necessarily get that many comments, but I have a lot less than 2 million people following me and can get upwards of this many likes with a very much smaller audience. So what those signals tell me is, think about what you're posting. Now, I'm not against something getting lower engagement if it's something you need to get out to a very specific segment of your audience, but just be mindful. This one obviously did a little bit better, but I'm seeing a disconnect here between how many people like the page and how many people are regularly engaging with it. That tells me a couple of things. One, it's very possible that the reason why people are liking your page and the type of content that you're producing are not necessarily congruent. I think in this case, it's probably more the case of when I like the Redskins on Facebook, I'm just showing my love to the team, not necessarily trying to keep up with everything they're saying all day. Meaning, if I'm the Redskins and I want people to see more of this, I'm going to have to run ads to make sure that it's showing up in their feed. And let's click on the ads. And right now, from what I can see, they're not running any ads. And for me, that's problematic. If I'm the Redskins, this page is all about awareness. It doesn't look like they're selling anything on this page, right? Some of your businesses may do that. My business has done that. But if I'm just keeping the audience informed, I should be running ads to make sure that they're seeing the things that we're talking about. Now, do they need to run ads on every piece of content? Absolutely not. The beautiful thing is the organic traffic that they're getting, the 45 comments, 416 likes, at least out of all the comment that I've seen so far, is a signal to me that this is something we might want to run an ad against. Right? Get this in front of more people. Keep them engaged. Keep them coming back. Keep the message that you want them to hear in front of them. Now, like I said, you don't need to run ads on everything, but on the things that perform well, your audience is telling you, we like this. And they'd probably like to see more of it. And more of your audience would like to see more of it. Because remember, Facebook has made it very clear for the last 5 years that over time, your ability to engage your audience organically is going to go completely away. Why? Because Facebook wants to sell you their ad platform as a business. They want you to pay to reach your followers. Okay, so you have to keep that in mind. If I'm the Redskins, I certainly have the budget to do it. Highly recommend that they get on it with the Facebook ads. Do an inventory and an assessment. Do some analysis on the content that does really, really well. We'll talk about that more in a second too. And run ads against it. Use Facebook as a way to keep our audience engaged throughout the year. All right, so not bad, but it could be better. Another thing, like Eliza pointed out, was no response. Come on, Facebook. 2009 or Facebook. Come on, Redskins. 2019. Get in your comment section, right? Pay somebody to respond to your people. Now, I get it. If you're getting 4,000 comments a day, you're probably not going to be able to respond to everybody. But it's 27 people. 27 people in here talking. Let's look at this. I'm trying to get it to pull up here. Yeah, I'm sorry. Hitting the wrong button. Right? Get in here, Redskins. What are we doing? People are actually responding to us. Now, granted, if you're not familiar with Redskins fans, they're a little disgruntled. Not everything they have to say is necessarily positive, okay, about the team. The team's been going through a rough time for the last, off and on for the last 2 decades. But, yeah, like you're not going to respond to the fire Bruce Allen piece, okay, and that's our general manager. But for people that leave comments that are insightful, definitely respond to Paul Anderson. He's showing love to the team. Just post a heart or the thank you hands. Why? Because now you've created an engagement and you're already paying somebody to run your Facebook page. Have them go the extra mile and leave Paul Anderson a comment with thank you. Why? Because now Paul Anderson's going to remember, yo, the Redskins actually responded to my stuff. I showed them love and they showed me love back. Right? Now, granted, a lot of this is cynicism that you don't want to respond to. You know, we have rules on a lot of our groups that we run. If you start being overly negative, we'll just boot you. We don't need that here. It's not going to help anybody. Right? 12 comments. Come on, get in there. And really, if I'm the Redskins, if these fire Bruce Allen people are regularly doing this, just as a policing type thing, and it would be very hard to go through 2 million people. Got it. But if these people are regularly just stirring up negativity, ban them. You don't need them. I would bet you money these 2 people are probably not buying season tickets. Same thing goes for a smaller business. If you have someone that's, especially smaller businesses, these type of people, when you don't have 2 million followers, are cancerous. If you have 1,000 followers and Rob, what's his name, is doing this all day, every day, good chance you're going to want to boot that person because they're going to make a miserable experience for your clients. Okay, but definitely get your response time up. Also, the other thing that Facebook pointed out that I 100% agree with is we got a good amount of the About Us page, but let's see if I agree with Likealizer and go to the About Us page. Right, again, it's too short. It should be way longer. Why? Because someone's going to ask us, everyone knows who the Redskins is, dude. Why would they need to worry about things coming up in search? Not to make things come up in search for the Redskins, but there may be a promotion. There may be something about the Redskins that you want people to see, right? Things that you're talking about in the media right now, positive things that you want people to be aware of. That should be in your About Us page because when people search for that stuff, it'll come up. It's all about creating awareness, right? Then creating engagement, then creating the sale in your business. But I'd say here that the Redskins do a great job of attracting an audience. Like I said, 2 million people, and I like the Redskins page. I don't read their stuff, right? Most people are just showing love to the team. Every once in a while, they'll say something that I care about. But why not go the extra mile and keep what you're saying in front of your fans, right? And then use the feedback you get from the ads to determine how often you should run ads and what ads you should run. And it's very possible they experimented with ads and it had a negative effect and they stepped away from it. That's totally okay. But for your business, do not miss the opportunity to keep your audience aware, engaged, and then eventually work on getting the sale. Now let's go to Instagram. This is where we get into another really, really good 600,000, almost 700,000 followers. That's big. Okay, I get that they're a globally recognized brand, but that's a lot of followers for a globally recognized brand that produces something that the entire world isn't really into. I mean, if you compare, European football to American football. It's not even close, right? So to get this many followers on a platform that really centers around beauty and entertainment, that's huge. That's a pat on the back. And I remember in the audit, I was very praising. And in fact, I think Instagram may have been what I praised the most. But there's some opportunities here as well that I don't want you all to miss. The Redskins do a great job of storytelling, right? This image is really cool. They do they'll do like hirings, they'll do birthdays, they'll do events, they'll do things that are current events as well, like the dog in the snow. Kind of cool, right? They do Happy Valentine's Day. They do birthdays for their players. I love the birthdays for the players because one of the things I didn't put in my audit, but the spirit was in there, is if you go back to the 1980s and look at how the Chicago Cubs started to market, they started inviting their fans to meet with the players, to meet with the team. And then they became the city's team. Right now, the White Sox have all the wins, right? Until recently. But the Cubs generated a trust and a rapport and a love with their fans where the fans supported them even through the years where they were struggling. And the Redskins have done that to a degree. The players especially are very good at getting into the community. But I feel like we can represent that a little bit better on Instagram as well. Here's my coach right here. Daryl Green was a game day coach for me. Nothing but love for that gentleman. But so good storytelling, but one thing's missing that I'd love to see more of. One thing, and it's I got to go to our rivals page. Hate to do it, but they're eclipsing our followership. Why? Well, I won't say this is the exact reason, but look at these videos. Look at how many views these videos are getting and compare that to the amount of likes that these are getting. Now, if I'm getting 6,000 likes, I can take it to the bank. There's a ton of views, probably close to what this is doing. But video has a way of transcending images, right? I have videos that today still get a lot of viewership that I did over a year ago, and people will hit me up about it. Don't miss the opportunity, and especially when we get into the YouTube discussion. YouTube is where I was as hard as was the area where I was the hardest on the Redskins. Right now, YouTube may not be right for all of your businesses. We'll get to it in a second, but there's something Dallas is capitalizing on here in the video. Right, you won't be able to hear this. Right, Ezekiel Elliott, their star running back. I see his face. There's a video. I want to see it. Everything about social media is about connecting with another person. In this case, I'm connecting with people that I look up to or potentially idolize. Redskins don't miss the opportunity. And I'm not saying they never use video, because if I scroll down far enough, I'm sure there's got to be at least one video on here. Yeah, here we go. There's a video. Let's see, 42K views. Right? I want to see more of that. I'd also like to see a little bit better when you're as big as the Redskins. You don't have to do it, but it doesn't hurt to have your hashtag tactics in place, right? Adrian Peterson. So again, solid B plus, A minus, but certainly not doing the numbers that are almost 3 million. And people will argue, well, Dallas, everyone loves Dallas. Believe me, there's a ton of Redskins fans all over the world too, right? So definitely take advantage of something that your competitors are doing and don't miss the opportunity to get that squared away. Twitter, I don't spend a whole lot of time on. It's a great platform for sensationalized entertainment or news. The Redskins do a really good job of it. I don't think they necessarily need to follow the tactics that I recommend to small businesses, where you create lists and you follow hashtags and you figure out what's going on in your market that you are particularly skilled to respond to. I don't think the Redskins need to do that. For the Redskins, because they have the clout, they have the popularity, they can use Twitter as a push tool. If you have 1.25 million followers on your Twitter with your business or your freelance work, by all means, use it as an opportunity to push, but do not discount the opportunity you have to respond to people when they comment. I don't get even big businesses that don't do it, because big businesses, I think, have less of an excuse for not responding to their audience, because they can afford to pay someone to do it. Usually in a small business, it's your office manager that has to keep up with all that, and they have to keep up with sales calls and scheduling visits or whatever it is they do as your office manager and respond to social media. The Redskins can hire a high school kid to come in and respond and give them, here's the script. Have someone in the PR team teach them, this is what you can and cannot say. Right? Every company has that. I mean, even when I was working in Fortune 500 as a representative of my billionaire's company, I had to get PR training. I couldn't just go out and start talking to the world. I had to be told, here's what you can say, here's what you can't say, all the way up to when I had to do a congressional testimony for things our business was doing that Congress was not too happy about, right? Totally can do that. So I'm not saying they need to use all the tactics of connecting with the media and pulling information because they sell football. We got it. Totally push, but don't miss the opportunity to connect with a fan that may be your next lifetime season ticket holder. All right? YouTube. This is the one area where they didn't really follow the advice I gave. I love this picture though. That picture gets me every time, that wide angle lens. So let's just let's look at our friends the Cowboys again. And I apologize, I should have had that pulled up already. Right, and I don't even know if the Dallas Cowboys have a YouTube channel. Let's find out. Maybe they don't. But they do have Dallas Cowboys Report. Let's see what that's about. Okay, so not a direct comparison, but what I challenged the Redskins on when it came to YouTube was one simple principle. The fact that the first word in YouTube is you. Now, I will give them credit. It looks like they kind of took a part of my advice because something has changed on here that wasn't here before. But they didn't start doing what I recommended. Okay, so I'm assuming. So I like this kind of documentary style action, right? But it's the podcast, which I'm not against you putting your podcast on YouTube. I'm going to be doing that. I do have a problem with the fact that it only got 161 views. Okay? Here's why. The first word in YouTube is you. Okay? Help me understand. And the evidence is right here on screen, and this is what I told the Redskins. This Ryan Kerrigan man on the street video did 100,000 views 5 years ago. Okay? He's a rookie. I think at that point, there's a lot of buzz about him coming out of Purdue. People like the guy. He's got good character. He seems fun to be around on the field when you watch him on TV. He shoots a video that does 100K views. Why are we not doing that more often? Player spotlights people. And I get some teams are very secretive and they like to keep what they're doing out of the media. But if you're going to be on YouTube, be on YouTube. Player spotlights like this should be your whole channel. I remember when I first got here, the thing I critiqued them on, and it seems like they've changed it, was they had a Jay Gruden press conference after a game that I believe we lost. And nobody watched it because the people who cared about that press conference watched it while it was on TV. The people that missed it can just read it in the Bleacher Report or on a blog. They don't have to sit there and watch, a 10 to 20 minute video. They can just read. They can scroll through the highlights right there on their phone without having to watch the video. Okay, so friends, on your YouTube channel, it's about you. And I don't mean you as the creator. In the Redskins case, I mean that because the yous that work at the Redskins are celebrities. People like to watch celebrities. But you have to make it about the audience. This helps the audience connect with a player that they love. To this day, it's a player that we love. You cannot, and even the cheerleaders video did really well. Now, I'm assuming sex had a little something to do with that. And some of the ways that there's a lot of tactics in the YouTube piece, why these videos, the Ryan Kerrigan video could have done a lot more. The cheerleaders could have done a lot more. And that has to do with the thumbnails. The thumbnail for the cheerleaders videos is, no, terrible. And I don't like to tear businesses down, but that someone needs to be working on that. The thumbnail for Wired Up Alex Smith, dope, right? It captures the scene. It pitches the value of what I'm going to see, right? Washington Redskins cheerleaders, WRC. I don't even know what I'm going to be watching except half naked women, which 98,000 people care about that. I don't, right? Ryan Kerrigan, man on the street interview. What did they talk about? What was interesting about Ryan Kerrigan's interview? Pitch the value in the titles, then pitch the value in the thumbnails as well. So the fact that they're not even really doing customized thumbnails until you get down here, but these videos are not doing that well. All right, I'm okay with this because over time I think this will pick up. But most of your audience that's going to listen to a Redskins podcast, probably a little bit older, probably not on YouTube. Like they're probably going to iTunes to listen to it because they're in their car. Don't mind you putting it on YouTube. Just understand that it's going to be harder for that to get traction. All about if we're going to be on YouTube, make it about the yous that work there. For you smaller businesses, make it about your audience. So you've got a couple of options. You can be entertaining, if that's either a part of your business or something you're skilled at weaving into talking about your business. But what's going to work out a lot better for you is creating content that helps the people that your business serves specifically. Okay, so tutorial videos is something that my business does a ton. Like this video you're watching, I produce these videos not so that the Redskins can just benefit from what I'm saying, but so that you can look at, okay, how can I learn from the things the Redskins are doing extremely well, but how can I also learn how to fix mistakes in my online marketing that I see all these big businesses are making as well, so you can learn from others' mistakes so that you don't have to make them. But friends, if you're going to be on YouTube, you've got to create something that has a visceral, I need to watch this attached to it. Okay, and everyone makes videos that don't do well. That's a part of being here. But when you have numerical evidence that a type of video did really well, we've got to dissect, why did this Ryan Kerrigan man on the street video do so well, and make at least 10 more similar videos to see, was this a fluke or was this something legit? Do player profiles of the cheerleaders if they're willing to be on camera. I don't know what's happening behind the scenes at the company. Put them on camera. Get the audience to know them as people, not just as whatever this is. Which, and maybe the video does that. I don't know. But I'm not inclined to watch the video based on the thumbnail and the terrible title. Okay? So, friends, if you're going to be on YouTube, and many of you watching this business-wise probably don't need to be there depending on what your business is, but if you're going to be there, take full advantage of the platform. So, with that in mind, friends, hopefully I have given you a ton to think about. Hopefully the Redskins will find this favorable. I really, really am beyond excited that they implemented a lot of the things that we pointed out in the audit that we sent them. And I'm so happy to see that they're making progress and that they're actually taking a look at how they can be better online, especially for a business as old as the NFL. A lot of these bigger businesses are slower to adapt to change, and it's been a joy to watch my favorite sports team adapt to that as well. Now, if we could just adapt to winning more games, that would be even better. But I pray all of you had something great to take away from this. As always, if you have questions, if you need help, reach out to me either here on YouTube. You can hit me up on Facebook. It's Bryant Chambers Page on Facebook. You can send me a direct message. I always approve them. You can also email me at contact@bryantchambers.com. It's like I said in the beginning of the video. My mission is to provide you, my belief is that we can show you military-grade strategies that you can apply to your business and to your life so that you can win. It's like Sun Tzu says, the general that knows his enemy or her enemy and himself will never have to fear the outcome of 100 battles. If you know what you're getting into and you know how you have to fight to win, you cannot be beaten. If you would like me to take a look at your business or help you with a specific thing, like I said, hit me up right here or shoot me an email, or Facebook is really the best place to get me because it's what I'll probably see the fastest. And just let me know. I'd be more than happy to help you. Until that time, friends, until all are one, remember always that we are stronger than I. I love you much. Talk to you soon.